I have some pastries in front of me as well, but we'll get into those in just a second. With warmer weather comes, of course, more outdoor activities here in New England. Walks in the Arboretum, hikes up the White Mountains, a barbecue at Franklin Park. But what about planning the perfect picnic? Johanna Hartzheim is here, the founder of Wildgrain, right, based here in Boston, with some ideas. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with Wildgrain itself. Like I mentioned, you and your husband co-founded this right here in our backyard. What inspired it?
So we used to live in Paris. In Paris, on every corner, you have an amazing boulangerie where you can get fresh pastries and baguette. And we just sort of were nostalgic about the freshness and the deliciousness of the pastries. So I started making my own sourdough and just made larger batches, shared it with friends and family, and that's sort of how it grew to life. I wanted people to have the convenience of just pulling bread and pastries out of their freezer, baking it within 30 minutes. You can serve really nice bread and pastries.
I love that. I love the French inspiration already sells it for me. One thing about your company too, though, is that there's a local connection when it comes to your giving back in the community.
Right. So yeah, we work with a bunch of local artisans and bakers, and with every donation, with every subscription, we donate 4 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank, which we're really happy about. Over the last 5 years, we donate 500,000 meals, which makes us really proud, or it's a big part of the business to give back to the community.
I love that. All right, so let's get into the picnic. You have a beautiful spread out here, but what would you say is the key to planning the perfect picnic?
That it's all easy to grab and handheld, I think is a big one. So you need like the fewest items possible. I brought some sourdough demi-baguettes.
Yes.
You can just break them apart, add a little cheese.
You don't need a knife, you just like rip them apart.
You really just rip it. That's the French way of doing it.
I like it.
Or some Parmesan herb biscuits, they're beautiful. So we have a French slow churned butter. It comes straight from France. It's delicious. It's so creamy.
Here.
You can put it on the bread, on the blueberry biscuits that are like a favorite of ours. They're packed with blueberries. Strawberry rhubarb turnovers, again, they're handheld, packed with fresh fruit. We have a lot of seasonal items. Like in spring, obviously, we like colors. We also brought some.
Those are beautiful.
The macarons are gluten-free, and these are gluten-free and vegan, actually, because we like to have something for everyone. Exactly, no matter which diet you're following, which is nice. And then just add some pops of fresh fruit, obviously some lemonade to make it nice, but like the showstopper, obviously the pastries and the bread, and then you just sort of add around it with some fruit.
You bring up a good point with being able to just throw things into the basket, so you're not thinking like cooking and making things, and it'll last too.
That's the convenience of Wildgrain, why it makes a lot of sense, because it took me maybe an hour to bake everything. I pulled it out of my freezer, baked it, added some fruit, stopped by the grocery store, and you're ready to go, which is nice. So you really can do it on the fly. You have spontaneous guests. You just serve up some bread and some dessert.
Wow. Well, thank you, Johanna. This is a beautiful spread. See, you made it actually easier than it could have been. So if you plan on having a picnic soon, actually, tag the Hub today, tag Wildgrain. We want to see what your spread turns out like. All right, that's all we have for our show today. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Have a great day.